This needs to change. Hello everyone, my name is the Chemist77 and welcome to episode 43 of Farming Minecraft. Yep, I keep running out of redstone dust. And so to counteract that, I have a project planned. You can see we're out by the slime farm where I have been wanting to build this out here for a while now, and that is a raid farm. And you can see here I've got the first little bit started off. We got this done on stream yesterday at the time of recording, and we also did a little bit of terraforming just around the outpost here, so we can get bad omen quickly and easily. And we also set up a couple of portals linking the two, and as you'll see up here, got the villagers. I think there's one still in the nether because they keep walking through the portals. Got the villagers ready to drop in, which is going to make the time lapse a whole lot easier because then I'm not constantly changing dimensions to move villagers around. So yeah, obviously this isn't just going to get us loads of redstone. We're going to get tons of emeralds as well, a decent supply of gunpowder too, which will be good, and a good supply of glowstone dust as well. Not that I'll really need glowstone dust. Yes, obviously useful for potion brewing, but I don't do a lot of sort of those types of potions. But you know, it's it will always be good to have. And of course, you know, glowstone is a not terrible light source, I'd say. I definitely prefer things like sea lanterns and shroom lights and frog lights, but glowstone is still a pretty good one. And obviously, with the raid farm, we'll have loads of glowstone dust to make loads of glowstone. So you'll probably know the design. It's been used basically everywhere. A lot of the hermits use it. It is, of course, ENXO4's stacking raid farm. There will be a link in the description to go watch the video, and I would highly encourage you do, because he'll go into a lot more detail about what exactly or how exactly the raid farm works. And I will talk a little bit about it here, but I won't go into quite so much detail because there's a lot of funky mechanics going on here, with how raid spawns and raid centers. But I will give a brief overview. I've also tweaked the design slightly. You'll notice we have a much sort of larger collection system than the original design. Well, one of the first changes, obviously, is we've got a laze here to do totems, because the farm was designed originally in 1.16, I believe. A laze didn't exist. But now we can filter out the totems and burn everything else, which means we don't have a chaotic, unsorted overflow chest. And as well, instead of just having some chests, we've actually got some shulker box loaders here. So we'll load up. I think it's about 64 shulker boxes of capacity per item. So they'll load up and come out in these chests down here. We've had to put the shulker box loaders a little bit further down because otherwise the redstone torches from the sorter interact with these pistons here, which is not what we want. But it does mean we can have a good like buffer system here. So we do use the original double speed item sorters to bring items down here, and then there's barrels here, and then they eventually go into the shulker boxes, and then once the shulker boxes are full, they will get broken. But yeah, anyway, I think without further ado, it's time to get into a time lapse, and then we'll build this thing up and sort of show a little bit about how it works before we turn it on. Okay, there we go. We are done. You can just about see we've got all of the villagers in, and there's one there as well. And we have also got our allies in. They don't have totems yet because I accidentally used my last totem building the farm up. Slight skill issue there, landing a bit too hard. And we also have our filters set up. These are slightly different to normal impulse item filters because these are double speed. So what we have here, and I would probably shouldn't have used the same item, but we have two different filler items there and there. You can see these are called filler 1, these are filler 2. You can use two different items, or again, like me, you can rename just the same item, different things. And so we've got 3 for emeralds, 2 for redstone, 2 for gunpowder, and 1 for glowstone dust. And then, yeah, we will give totems to the allies here, and this note block will get periodically fired, so the allies will then throw the totems in this direction, which will then flow into the shulker box loader here. So we'll have plenty of shulkers of totems for the world. Now, I'll go over briefly how the farm works for a much better and more in-depth sort of explanation. Again, really encourage you to look at ENX04's video, as there's a decent chance that I could get something wrong here, so do go check that out as well. But basically, the whole premise around spawning a raid is it spawns around a raid center. Now that starts off at the average center of claimed villager job sites, such as here. However, the way we spawn multiple ways at once is by actually moving this raid center so the game can start another raid, because you can't trigger a raid if you're already in one. So what happens is we would trigger a raid at this villager here. The job site then gets taken away, so there suddenly is no villager point of interest, which can also be a bed or a bell. And so the game searches nearby chunks, and this is also sub-chunks. So we've talked previously about this whole 16 by x by 16 is a chunk, and it's broken up into sub-chunks in Y layers. If you look on the top left of my screen where my mouse is here, this middle block here is the sub-chunk. So we are at sub-chunk of a Y level 5, and if we keep going up, you can see we go into sub-chunk 6, sub-chunk 7, like so. So we can move that up, and when that happens, the raid center actually gets moved to the 8-8 coordinate in the chunk. And this is very important with how the raid farm is set up. This is basically the reason why the raid farm has to be built exactly here within a chunk with the spawning platform here. And I'll get to that in just a second. But I want to first discuss about how the raid actually spawns. So how does the raid actually spawn? Well, there are 3 distances. The first distance is 64 blocks, which is around about this circle, away from the raid center. And as you can see here, obviously it's all ocean. So the game can't do that, and it will try to do this up to 20 times. Since all of them will fail because it's just water here, it will then go to 32 blocks in. And again, this is all ocean, so again, up to 20 attempts, they will all fail. So it then actually tries to spawn the raid at the raid center, which, because we've been moving the raid center, will be at 8-8, which is here. And it will also pick a, it will go +4 directions, +4 blocks in each direction, meaning it will spawn the raid anywhere between here and I think here-ish. So basically, these blocks here suddenly get spawnable. So it'll actually spawn the entire raid on these blocks. And then because of how we are sat here, Swinging this armor stand, sweeping edge will trigger this armor stand, which periodically fires this string, which is basically what keeps changing the state of this bubble column here, because we have soul sand and magma. And that is what sets off the shifting floor, which you'll see the shifting floor go and how it works when we turn the farm on. Speaking of which, let's go get Bad Omen. And yeah, try and run the farm for the first time. It could go wrong. It could go very wrong. We shall see. So I've got a portal set up to the outpost. You can see the raid farm is just over there, but we are not close enough to spawn the raid. You have to be within I can't remember the exact distance of the villager POI to trigger the raid. So we're gonna have a mosey round here, see if we can find a raid captain. And yeah, I might have actually brought myself out too far or too close with the portal. Alright, here we go. We have a pillager captain. So we kill them, we get Bad Omen, which apparently is my first time in the world, which I think is pretty successful. We're gonna leave these guys behind, and that lasts an hour and 40 minutes. Now, because there's a decent chance that I could die here, I am going to pop all of my stuff in a chest here. Now this farm is, in theory, safe to run without any armor on. Just as long as we don't get Vexes spawning. Now I have made a separate sword for this farm as well. We have sharpness 5 of course, sweeping edge 3 of course, and looting to get our maximum drops. Our inventory will fill up with a load of random stuff as well, but that is fine. We kind of want that so we can get some totems for the allies. And so, as soon as we, and I've left my shield on. As soon as we pop through this portal, we will start a raid. You can see the raid bar filling up. We go straight in here, and I have an auto clicker set up. And that is going at 1.5 seconds. So every 1.5 seconds or 1500 milliseconds, as it's sometimes set up as, we swing, and we can see we are now starting to spawn raids. It's a little bit slow at first, but gradually we should see more waves spawning. So here they go. And you can hear that note block really going. I'm going to turn that note block off because yeah, there we go. That is purely for the allays purposes. But yeah. And I'm hoping we will get some totems in our inventory. You can see here the item filters are going to slowly be filling up. And then anything that doesn't get picked up just gets burnt here. So all of the crossbows and the axes, all the other random witch drops. And we can see and hear it's starting to pick up speed as more and more waves start spawning in. So yeah, success. Now to stop the farm, gotta be a little bit quick. And we do have plenty of totems here, so we can indeed stop the farm. We want to do that, get out as quickly as possible, and run into the portal. You can see there's a lot of sounds from the on the subtitles. We're gonna run back through here quickly. This will despawn all the mobs over there. And because we beat a raid, we get that. I'm going to pop back in the portal because I may end up getting shot by this pillager. There we go. So we won the raid, and we can go back through here and sort out some of the other stuff. My inventory is a complete mess because obviously I didn't fill it up. So I'm going to sort this out, and then we can go give the allies their totems. Okay, so we're back through. We can give the allies totems. Cover this back in, and now any totems that come past here will get picked up by the allies. There might be a few that make it past and end up getting burnt, but honestly that's fine. The rates of this are pretty fast, and particularly for a single player world, 3 allies is more than enough to get loads of totems. And again, you know, after enough time these will all start filling up as well, and we'll probably start losing a bit of emeralds, a few bits of redstone, things like that. But honestly, the speed at which this runs, it's not really going to be that noticeable. So, since I've got a few spare totems, we'll put one of those in our offhand. And we'll go start it again, and you guys can see the lays picking up the items. Okay, so I've got Bad Omen again. Fill up my inventory so I don't get, so I don't keep getting loads of random stuff in our inventory. And go through here, up under here. We should eventually see raid mobs spawning. There we go, and we can see the raid bar filling up again, and it should slowly start to ramp up. There we go, we can see it's starting to pick up pace now. And in case you're wondering, the reason why the mobs fall through this shifting floor, if you've not seen this before, is soul sand is lower than a full block. So when it moves across, you can see the mobs fall down a slight bit, and then when the blocks move back, they actually get clipped into the full block, and that enables them to just fall straight down. And so we have the same thing again here. Magma blocks kills any that don't fall through, like that. And then the sweeping edge is what kills them. And so you can see we're getting quite a lot of drops through here. And if we come over here, you can see the allays are obviously attracted to the note block. And so any totems that get picked up will get thrown across here. You can see some of them end up slipping through just there because there is a cooldown on the allays. So if we wanted to, we could just chuck a load more allays here, give them totems, and we'd pick loads up. But you can hear all the raid horns going off. But it's not too necessary. It fills up pretty quickly. You can see there goes the shulker box already. And yeah. So I'm going to sit here for a little bit and we can see what we can get. Alrighty, so I've been running this for about 15-20 minutes. So that's the wrong button. That is time to stop and run away, because we don't want to spawn any vexes. Like, we just go 128 blocks away. It should probably be about there-ish. Oh, not quite far enough away. Okay, well, with everything now out of the way, we can see exactly what we've got. Starting with the shulker box here that's fallen on the ground. Of totems. Okay, yep, we've got a few totems. We should be good on those for a while. 3 shulker boxes of emeralds. Nothing through yet on the redstone, or the gunpowder, or the glowstone. Kind of understandable because the redstone and gunpowder glowstone is witch drop, and typically you get fewer witches. So yeah. So I have to run it a bit more before we get some of those through. But yeah. That will do it for today's episode, I think. I'm gonna sit here, run this a bit longer. You shulker boxes of redstone, you know. So we can finally restock our redstone shulker box, which will be very, very nice indeed. But yeah, that will do it for today. If you did enjoy the video, do consider subscribing for more. Yeah, we're going to start getting onto some larger projects reasonably soon, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, also, I do live stream, so do check me over on Twitch. I don't just live stream in this world. I have a modded hardcore world that I stream, and sometimes I'll stream like the odd different game as well. So yeah, if those interest you, then yeah, do check me out over on twitch.tv/thechemist77. But yeah, that will do it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next episode. Bye.